USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
President Trump having a phone call with his political rival in November's election. The president saying yesterday that chat with Joe Biden went well.
We had a really wonderful, warm conversation. It was a very nice conversation. We talked about pretty much this. This is what we talked about. This is what everyone's talking about. This is what they want to talk about.
Biden has been very critical to reporters about the administration's response to COVID-19. Of course, he's the frontrunner to face off against Trump in November's general election. A federal judge is letting some abortions resume in Oklahoma. A restraining order will stay in effect until at least April 20th, after Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt issued the order last month, suspending all elective surgeries in the state, and that included abortions because of the coronavirus pandemic. And this is USA Radio News.
Balance of Nature, changing the world, one life at a time.
Yeah, I really enjoy the product completely. It's really been very, very good for my hair and my skin. A little bit more energy, and just most of the time being able to fight off, the sicknesses too. I have not been sick since I have started it.
Balance of Nature is now offering 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code USA.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
While some U.S. epicenters for the coronavirus outbreak, like New York, are seemingly seeing the curve start to flatten, Task Force Response Coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx says that the outbreak could still get worse over the next few weeks if people do not continue to practice social distancing.
At the daily White House coronavirus briefing, Dr. Birx continues to reiterate this is a highly transmittable virus, and she says Americans still need to take precautions.
Out of respect for every single healthcare worker. If you can consolidate, if you can send one person, the entire family doesn't need to go out on these occasions. This is a highly transmittable virus.
For USA Radio News, I'm Robin Walensky.
After the Dow Jones Industrial Average added almost 8% in value yesterday, Wall Street futures are pointing to another strong open. Dow futures hinting at a 600-point gain when the trading begins. This is USA Radio News.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the Hip Radio Network Weather Center. Overcast today with a high of 87. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows level off around 70 tonight. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 89. Turning much cooler Thursday and Friday with highs from the upper 60s to the low 70s. Storms both days. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 69 degrees.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken
Joshua Harris. Good morning, Georgetown, Texas. Got to put my mask on this morning. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, this ain't no joking matter this morning. David Cody already called me out. He said, David Cody's on the stream this morning. He said, Rob, you gotta put your mask on, man. Let's do this. And so I got my mask on this morning. Hold on one second, because we got another mask on as well. Trying to make sure that we got him here this morning. Hey, good morning, Georgetown, by the way. I hope everybody's doing. Here we go, switching over. Josh, I don't wanna catch your breath through the digital airwaves. How you doing this morning, brother?
Hey, good morning, Rob from Copper's Cove. I've got my mask on and I'm ready to go. Good morning, Georgetown.
Hey, it's good that okay, I can't do that anymore, man. I was starting to not be able to breathe. Hey, good morning, Josh. How you doing, man?
Hey, Rob. Good morning. It's going to be a great Tuesday, and yeah, I don't know. You saw yesterday. I had my mask on this morning, but I got a little creative and made some a new way to kind of maybe make a little income coming in when this slow time, and I turned a hat into a mask and made a hat mask by Harris Incorporated yesterday. Had some great response with that, so it was a lot of fun. But good morning to you. Thanks for letting me be a part of this show on Tuesday mornings. I really enjoy joining you and just encouraging the folks in the community.
Hey, you bet. Well, Joshua Harris is our morning host. Bridget just said good morning. It's my favorite co-host because she just loves how funny you are.
Good morning, Bridget. The best part of the Hit family right there. There she is. Good morning.
The
Bridget.
best part of waking up is Joshua Harris
Is
on the
Bridget
show.
on the air?
Oh, whoops.
Good
Sorry.
morning. I've got my coffee. I'm ready to go.
Hey, we ran out of bottled water. It's day 19. Things are grim. There's no bottles of water. So I brought a cup of water this morning.
Is that what day we're in? It's 19?
I'm not sure. I think one day I said it was like day 50, so I guess we're going backwards.
Yeah, it seems like they're all running into each other. You know, you're seeing a lot of these Groundhog Day references coming up because it sure does feel like that some days. But you know what? Every day that passes is one day closer to getting to the backside of this thing. And so everybody just keep following the rules, keep safe, keep your distance, and let's let this thing pass on by, man. I believe that it's going to be we're going to be stronger as we get through this thing, and we're learning a whole lot about ourselves, and it's a growthful experience for many of us. That's for sure.
Well, we want to welcome everybody into the show. Joshua Harris is our Tuesday morning co-host here on Good Morning Georgetown, the Oak Ridge Disciple House, a 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry, helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there's light at the end of the tunnel. That light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. Josh, I've got some news that I want to go over this morning, but before we really dig into that, especially during these times right now, this may be a time where people may fall back into old habits because of the stress and that. And it's just so important right now that we're around people, that we're encouraging them, and, of course, that we're lifting them up, brother.
Yeah, you bet. And, you know, we have a great group out on the Ridge. As you know, I talked about it last week. We have everything pretty much shut down completely out there, keeping everyone safe. We're not even in the community very much right now at all to even do service projects and things like that because we don't want to get this virus up there on that mountain. If one guy gets it, including staff, then it's over. We're going to have to quarantine the whole place. And so far, so good. We've kept everyone safe. I've got 8 solid guys up there right now, an incredible staff that's allowing me to work from home and stay safe. And so I just want to give a big shout out to my crew out there, Britt and Kevin and Jim and Wade, who's doing a great job as a graduate assistant out there. And then all the guys, I know some of you or all of you might be listening this morning, man, just keep on holding on. Your safest place you could be. And you're right, though, Rob, we're getting a lot of phone calls from guys and families right now that want to try to get their family members safe. People are waking up to the reality that this is real life. And unfortunately, at this time, I've got a couple of beds open, but I'm just not taking anybody because of risk management and the way our insurance is set up. We cannot bring anybody new out. So I'm just wishing everyone well. We're going to get through this. And as soon as I'm able, we're going to open up these beds again. I know we've got a few beds down in the Conroe house as well that we can fill. But right now, we've just got to stay safe, Rob. And so it's a tough time. But you're right. People are starting to wake up to the reality of where they are, but also maybe checking out some of those old patterns. And so I pray that everyone just really stay safe right now, and we're going to be okay.
Well, Josh, appreciate you being on with us Tuesday mornings. The county making a call here for folks in Williamson County to help out. A press release issued yesterday. By the way, if you don't follow Hip Radio Network on Facebook, make sure that you do that. We also created a group called Georgetown, Texas News and Events. That group is specifically for news and events and also ways that we can help each other in our community, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. But Williamson County is calling on Georgetown, not just Georgetown, but county residents as well, not only to wear face masks. Now, I know I'm not around anybody right now. They're saying if you're going out in public, if you have to get out, if you have to go to the grocery store, if you have to be out for any reason, to pick up something. They're calling for folks in the county to make sure that you wear your mask and face coverings. Of course, the face coverings are going to provide a little bit of protection. It's not as good as the surgical mask, but they need those surgical masks. Those are in high demand. But the county is calling for folks right now, Josh. They said, look, if they've created a face mask task force. It's made up of individuals who are creating cloth face coverings. We've seen Mickey Ross creating many of them, helping out folks here in the community. But they are calling for cloth face coverings for medical personnel to use over. This is not just this is in addition to the N95 mask to prolong the life of those masks. Anyone willing to make home manufactured cloth coverings in a package of at least 50 or more can join this special team of people. They say to please also include a card with a short description of how the face coverings were made, along with your contact name, phone number, and email. Those masks can be dropped off at the county's donation drop-off locations. That's noted on the website at williamson-county.org. I'm going to post that actually on the Facebook stream as well. But one of the drop-off locations will clean the masks before they are distributed to public safety and medical personnel. So that's how, seriously, Josh, I'm not joking, man. When I saw this yesterday, I got on YouTube and I said, how do you make masks? And you know me, brother, I've got a sewing machine and I'm not afraid to use that bad boy. Let's be honest.
HRN did a great job covering that press conference and kind of an update. And I love when Judge Gravel gets on and does that. Thank you so much, Your Honor. We so appreciate you keeping us up to speed on everything that's going on and your encouragement of the community. And when I saw him talk about that and these women that are getting together in Sun City and all over Georgetown doing this, I thought, wow, that is an amazing effort. And, we kind of made light of it because we want to laugh and we want to continue to smile and have a great time. Even in the hardest of days, you can still smile. And so we kind of teasing about that this morning, but man, I haven't been leaving. I went out yesterday and did some curbside pickups, and I had I just want to give a shout out to the Bowman Outdoor because yesterday they donated some masks to our guys and to some staff, and so I've got that waiting in my office. But I've been using one of the longer pillowcases that I would use on my pillows and kind of folding them, and that's what I used yesterday when I was out and had some fun with it as well because you have to. Like I put up yesterday, I said, if you would have ever told me that we would be grocery shopping the way we're grocery shopping, we would have laughed, just a month ago. But here we are. And so it is very serious. I think everyone that goes out should do this. And it just shows that you're a part of the effort. And thank you to everybody who's joining that effort that you just talked about in making these masks so that we have enough for Williamson County and surrounding.
I'm going to make a call to action this morning. If you don't have the means of making those masks, but you have material, we're talking about cloth material. If you have the elastic bands, I'm horrible with calling things what they really are, but you know what I'm talking about. If you've got the elastic bands or if you've got the cloth, let me know. Comment on Facebook if you're on comment. If you're on Facebook, if you are on the app, we've got a lot of folks listening this morning on the HRN app as we normally do here on the mornings. You can text us as well at 512-686-2030. Again, that number is 512-686-2030. If you have any of those materials, but maybe you don't have a sewing machine, let me know, and I will gladly find out a way. I'll come by and pick those up safely somehow because, like I said, man, I've got a sewing machine. I know how to use it. I'm going to be honest about it. And I really want to get involved and try to help make a few of those masks. So if you've got those materials, let me know. In fact, today, Joshua, I'm going to go out and see if there's any materials. I'm going to call ahead first because I don't want to get out and go run around unless I absolutely have to. But I'm going to call ahead first and see if there's any of those materials. And then, brother, I'm going to get on that sewing machine because right now it's literally right behind me in the studio, in the storage part of the studio, and I'm ready to get that bad boy out. I'll send you a picture of it, brother. Once we get,
I think that's
we're going to get it going.
And therein lies the reason that you ever learned how to use the sewing machine and have that capability for a moment like right now. I don't get out much, but I will be out today. I've got some payroll to do and some banking to do for this week, and I'm also be out and about. I'll be safe. If you need to get some stuff that you want to donate or to this effort or want to get involved, you can call me or text me as well, and I'll swing by safely, and I'll make sure I get everything that you've got to Rob so that he can get it to the people that it needs to go to. And they say the next couple of weeks, we're still in kind of this hot zone and we haven't hit this peak yet. So we're going to need all the help we can get. And so please get involved if you're able.
Yeah. So if you have those elastic bands, if you have the material, just let me know. And like I said, we'll figure out a way to come get that from you. I'm going to get hot on that sewing machine. I'm going to send Joshua a video. In fact, maybe tomorrow morning, I'll go live and do a little sewing live on Facebook Live for everybody. I'm just kidding.
I think that would be pretty cool for them to see. I mean, you joke around a lot, but this is something that you can really do. And so, Rob, man, thank you for using your Boy Scout skills. How did you learn? Well, maybe the little backstory, but how did you learn? What the world? I mean, I don't know how to sew. I don't know how to use a sewing machine. I would sew my fingers together. How did you learn how to do that, Rob?
The first sewing machine that I ever used, I was around sewing all the time growing up. In fact, I know how to crochet. My mom taught me. So I'm going to give Mama credit first because she taught me how to crochet. Now, I can't knit. My uncle can knit. He knows how to knit. He knitted me a blanket back in the day. My mom knows how to crochet. She taught me how to crochet. She always did that plastic canvas stuff. Have you heard of that where you take yarn and it's like you stitch? I used to, when I was a kid, on the school bus, I used to make these little candy boxes and I would sell them. In fact, my kindergarten teacher still has a little, because my real first name is Robin, and my mom used to make these little boxes that was the bird, the robin bird, and she would ask me to give it to my teachers. And there was these little baskets that she would make out of plastic canvas. And one year I helped her make them, and when I was a kid, we gave them, and in fact, when I was in kindergarten, I gave one to my kindergartner teacher, Miss Keller, and she still has it to this day, which is unbelievable. She sent me a picture of it last year and said, I still have the robin basket that your mom gave me. That's pretty cool, man. So it started with Mama. How many know that a lot of good things start with Mama, and you got to take care of Mama? And so those that
shout out to Mama.
Shout out to the mamas.
I can see, that whole story is amazing, and it's leading up to how things can be used. You never know when you're going to use something that you learn. But my favorite part, and it's so you, Rob, because I know what an entrepreneur you are,
Mama.
And you're always trying new things. I can see you. What grade did you say you were in on the bus selling candy boxes?
Oh, first grade. Second grade. Second
Rob
grade.
Hipp already starting his career in just different avenues of entrepreneurship, selling candy boxes for a quarter a piece on the bus. That is, if that's not Rob Hipp, I don't know what is, man. I just love it.
Well, literally, it was a quarter. That's funny you said that because that's what I sold them for, was a quarter.
See?
Yeah, it was. It was a quarter a piece. I sold them. And that's probably why up until I was about 10th grade, I got made fun of every day. And you know what I said?
Well,
I don't care. I don't care.
Well, 10th grade is when your football career started. And then, of course, that exploded into greatness, your football career. I mean, someday you need to spend an hour or so telling people about that amazing football career you had.
My football career, Josh, started when I was in 6th grade, and it abruptly ended when I was in 8th, going into 9th grade. When my buddy Chris Vasquez, who grew up here in Georgetown, some of you may know Chris, when Chris leveled me, we're talking about a 300, a kid in junior high is probably 300 pounds. He's a big old boy. I love Chris. And whenever Chris hit me from behind after the whistle had blown and he didn't hear the whistle, he hit me from behind. And back in the day at the Georgetown junior high, that practice field, let's just say that Georgetown didn't have the resources in this community that we have now. That's why if you're in Georgetown now and you weren't here back in the day, you better be thankful, because I'm telling you what, man, 20 years ago, we didn't have the financial resources to have nice facilities. And I'm not knocking, I'm just being honest. We were using hand-me-downs in junior high for football equipment. And when Chris Vasquez hit me from behind in practice and didn't hear the whistle, and we're talking about good old Texas earth that's hard as a rock, and somehow he managed to not only hit me so hard that it literally threw my back out, but it also jammed my face mask into rock-hard dirt about 6 inches, and I couldn't get my face mask out of the ground. That was when I knew Grandma was right. It's time to quit playing football. And that was it for me, buddy. I was done.
From the field to the microphone in 1 second, huh?
Yeah.
And, man, I tell you what, you gave you the voice for it, and here we are today with SHN Sports and Hit Radio Network. And so, yeah, but I knew that story, and I love that story. You tried, and
how many know?
Chris had a different plan for your life. He was a part of showing you what that was.
I think when Pastor Joe Champion first came to this area, when he first got the church going here, I listened to a lot of his sermons, and he used to always say, "How many know?" And I say that all. It's funny because you pick up things from people in your life, and you don't realize it. Like one thing that I always say, and I even type it all the time, is the word friends, and that was from a very dear pastor in my life, David Edwards, who was the pastor at Main Street here for so many years, and I love David and his family, and David passing away many years ago in a very tragic car accident. But David was just someone that I've always looked up to, and even to this day I think of him often. But he always said the word friends, Josh. Every sermon he would always say friends, and that taught me the value of, it's okay to call people friends even if they're not your best buddy. Even if it's when you address a group of people, it is okay to say friends, because we need to have that friend-type mentality in life. I think if we treat everybody as a friend, whether we've known them for 20 years or 50 years or we just met them, give them the benefit of the doubt of being a friend. That is the encouragement for today, is give everyone that you meet the benefit of the doubt of being a friend, and great things will happen. Not only in your life, which is amazing, but it's going to happen for those that you're blessed to be surrounded with, Joshua Harris.
Yeah, Rob, I think that's such a great encouraging message for everyone right now, especially because I can promise you this. Even me, I'm such a social person, and I'm always out and meeting people and, doing all the things that I do for the Ridge. And that's, kind of being the face of this thing. And being at home like this, being stuck at home and not being, it really does bring on a different kind of, depression. And I know a lot of people are really suffering right now with social anxiety of not being able to be out and be around people and be around friends. And so being a friend to just anybody and everybody that you could possibly be, even though we can't really be close to people right now, I think is absolutely so important for us to really bond together and get through this. And I noticed that ever since I met you years ago, that's something you've always used is, how are you doing today, friends? How friends. And so I know that to be true about you. And I don't think that could be a truer statement for where we are right now. Everyone needs some good friends in their life. So why don't you reach out to somebody today? Maybe it's somebody you hadn't talked to in a long time. Maybe it's somebody that you've been holding something against, and for whatever reason, today is the day to call them and say, you know what? Let's put all that behind us. You've been my friend. You are my friend, and so that's real encouraging for all of us today, Rob. Thank you for that.
The song today is "Friends Are Friends Forever." No matter, I don't even know how it goes. How does it go, Josh? Yeah, I never get you to sing. I don't know that one,
but the one, my favorite friend song is "Friends." How many of us have them? Let's be friends, ones you can depend on. Friends.
That was good, Josh. Anytime I can get you singing, it's good.
Let me just say, Rob, that I'm very, very excited and blessed that you're my friend, and that we have such a great partnership between Oak Ridge and Hip Radio Network and SHN Sports, and your friendship means a lot to me. So that's my encouraging word for you today.
Don't get me crying today. Hey, thank you to Miss Nancy Zinner.
Come on down here and get the rest of it.
Hey, I want to say thank you to Nancy. We're going to get to our Facebook shout-outs here in just a little bit. I want to say thank you to Miss Nancy Zinner, who said that she has some fabric remnants in a package of elastic that you can pick up. And she lives down the road from me. Nancy, I appreciate that. I'm going to reach out to you a little bit later after this show and definitely do that. So thank you so much. Josh, kind of ADD kicking in. Going back to the sewing thing, I didn't get to this. My great-grandmother, Granny Caluette, had a Singer sewing machine. I'm talking the old school sewing machine with the little foot pedal that you got to move back and forth. That is how I learned how to sew, was on Granny's Singer sewing machine. In fact, before she passed away, she said, I want Robin to have that sewing machine, and I keep it at my mom's house until one day when Bridget and I get everything kind of ready to go and we get married. I really one day want to have that sewing machine in my house, just because to me, I know it, as a guy, you're like, some people say, what's up with it? But that's a huge thing in my life, was that sewing machine, and it's Granny's old Singer sewing machine. And then my grandma, her daughter, had one as well. So it's all the mamas down the line. It's not just the birth mama, but we're going back 2 mamas before that, Joshua. It's the mama's mama.
The impact that our family and friends can make on us all through the years, just like you're giving that that recognition to your grandmother and your mom. And, so the things that we do today, we just never know the impact that it will make. My favorite thing in the world is when a guy who I helped maybe 10 years ago, or that we helped as a group, helped 10 years, we'll call and go, and you were tough on me. You didn't sugarcoat it with me, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. My favorite thing that one of the guys has ever said to me is, Joshua, thanks for loving my soul more than you cared about my feelings during a time when it wasn't about feelings for me. It was about saving my life, and I needed you to be tough, and I needed you to show me the real truth, and you did that. And today I'm a dad. I'm a firefighter. I'll give him a shout out, Brandon Perkins, man. He just encouraged me so much one day by saying, thanks for loving my soul more than you cared about my feelings when my feelings did matter. It was literally life or death for me. And so you never know the impact that you're going to make on somebody today, even 10 years down the road.
Amen to that. Hey, I wanted to tell you, it's all about the legacy, and you never know what's going to happen. And that's why it's so important to be friends. I want to ask people out there this morning, what is your favorite Friends song? What song can you think of that reminds you of the word friends? What song about friends do you enjoy? I'm going to tell you one of my favorite ones is Elton John and Miss Warwick that sang this, and I believe Stevie Wonder was in it as well. You may know it. I'm only going to play 2 seconds of it.
Keep smiling.
Keep smiling. Come on, John. That was a little hint. What
Keep
song
shining,
is it? What's
knowing you
Yes.
can always count on me for sure. That's what friends are for.
Here's Elton right
Hey,
here.
you know what? I was teasing about that little rap song. But you know what one of my favorite Friends songs is, and it doesn't so much say friends, but Lean on Me. You know that song, Lean on Me. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Lean on Me is one of my favorite encouraging songs of all time.
I love it, man. Listen at Stevie on this harmonica. Yeah, there it is now. Good morning, Georgetown, Stevie. Man, you know what, dude? As soon as the show's over today, I've got a telehealth appointment today with my doctor, which is going to be cool. I've never had that before, so I've got a telehealth appointment today. As soon as that telehealth appointment is over, I'm gonna close the doors here to the studio. I'm gonna kind of just lean back, and I'm just gonna jam to that song, Joshua.
I love that. And is that the doctor? Remind me of your doctor's name. Is he the one that's been coming on and giving the great coronavirus reports?
Not allowed to
kind
give
of helping us understand things.
Not allowed to give that information due to HIPAA violations. Not allowed. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's Dr. Wynn, but he's a general, what do you call it, like a family doctor, your primary care physician.
Practitioner, right. Yeah.
He's my PCP. PCP, are you with me? He's my PCP.
Oh.
I don't even know what that means. PCP, what's up?
Yeah, PCP, are you with me? I don't know. You might want to change that acronym a little bit.
Yeah, isn't that something not good, right?
I have a bed for you when we start taking men again.
Why do they call that a PCP then? PCP, are you with me? That's my primary care physician. He's my PCP. Now I'm never gonna say that again. Now he's my primary care physician. But then I have a specialist for my stomach thing that's been going on, and so that's who I've got the telehealth today. They were like, "We don't want you to come in. Will you just telehealth with us?" They want me to take my temperature and all. I'm like, "Look, ain't nobody got time for any of that. I'm just going to straight up tell you because
that's the way they're doing it now, Rob. You got to do a lot of these Zoom meetings and teleconferences and things like that. And it's just it's the world that we're in right now. But you know what? At the end of the day, we're going to pull through this. We're going to be stronger and better in the end. And so just be in compliance. And DCP, are you with me?
Compliance. When you said the word compliance, I thought of a movie, Navigator. Have you heard of the movie The Navigator? It's about a little boy, this young boy, and somehow this weird spaceship shows up and he goes inside of it and he flies it all over the place. It's called The Navigator. You ever heard of that?
Is that an older movie?
Yeah, it is. I think it's a Disney movie.
I remember that from back a little ways back.
But but in the movie, the computer inside of the spaceship would always go, compliance. So every time I hear that, hey man, this is the part of the show now to where we get a little country. And so here we go. Get ready for it. Here we go. I want to know this is a new segment here on Good Morning Georgetown. It's called, I'm going to play a song, Josh, and it's called What is the First Thing? And I want people, look, if you're on Facebook, I'm going to play a little bit of a music tune here, just a little bit of a jingle. And if you're on Facebook Live, I want you to tell me, now let's keep it family friendly, but I want you to tell me the very first thing that pops into your mind when you hear this. Now, again, keep it friendly. If there's something that's not friendly, go to the next thought. It's nothing bad. I'm just saying some of you, I know how you think. So, Josh, I'm going to play this. You tell me. I'm going to play this jingle for about 5 seconds, and then I want you to tell me the first thing that pops into your mind. If you're on the Facebook stream, let's do that as well. Here we go, Josh. You ready for it?
First thing that pops into my mind. All right, here we go. Get ready
and wait for it to end, okay? Here we go. All right, what was the first thing that popped into your mind?
That I know that country song. I mean, I know that. I mean, that intro is so popular because it's such a country song. It just reminds me of. It really reminds me of karaoke.
Okay, that was just some generic jingle, so I don't even know what song it is.
Yeah, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
That wasn't it. It may have emulated it, but yeah, the first thing that popped into my mind. Yeah, Michael Price said cliche. The first thing that popped into my mind. For some reason, anytime I hear these country tunes now, I think of Earl Dibbles Jr. Put in a good dip. Put in a good dip. I wake up in the morning and I put in a good dip. That's what I thought of this morning.
I've heard you say that for years and years. That's just something. Did you used to dip back in the day?
No, I didn't. I did. I've never did.
Because I hear you talk about that all the time about me, and so maybe that's just been fascinating to you or whatever. But I know you always reference that when it comes to country people.
Hey, friends, we're having a lot of fun this morning. Thanks for joining us here on Good Morning Georgetown. By the way, I want to show you something in the background this morning. This backdrop back here, a friend of mine on Facebook that is on his ranch, and I asked him on Facebook, I said, hey man, he told me, he's like, don't give me a shout out over the air, so I'm not going to say his name because he asked me, he's like, you don't have to give me a shout out, but I did want to say my friend on Facebook, just an awesome guy here in our community, but this is on his ranch, Josh, and I know you can't see it, but if you're on if you got the Facebook stream pulled up, you can see it, but it's just
I do, and we've got a lot of people joining on the party that I've shared as well, and we'll give them some shout outs here in a second as well.
Lyjan told me when she heard here's what Lyjan when she heard this, here's what she thought of when she heard this. Man, I gotta quit playing that. I'm really gonna start dipping. She said, drinking beer on a Friday night out in the pasture with the gang. Come on down there and get the rest of it. Lyjan, yes. Good morning to you. Hey, so coming up here around the 8 a.m. hour, we're gonna have our good friend Miss Ashley Crosby Fraser. And I'm just going to double check to make sure she got the confirmation. We had talked earlier this week. She's going to talk about I said she's going to talk about Good Morning Georgetown. She's going to talk about Project Graduation. Josh, I've seen a lot of pictures here in our community where teachers are having parades, and you got to just, your heart goes out to these seniors especially. Boy, that sounded country right there. Your heart goes out to these seniors. But really, in all seriousness, your heart goes out to the seniors in our community, Eastview, Georgetown, and all the schools around.
Oh, yes.
It's just tough on them right now.
It really is. I mean, think about it. We talked about it a little bit last week as well. They worked so hard these 12 years to get to this senior year and to get to prom and to get to graduation and to get to all the different things that seniors look forward to. And it's kind of been, sequestered from them. And I know they're going to do some different things and make it creative and maybe get together down the road, but it is really tough. And I also want to give a shout out to teachers. I mean, these teachers have fired things back up this week with a lot of online learning and classes have started back for my kids and we're all up. So, hey, listen, teachers, we know this is all a brand new experience for you. You are learning as you go. But I want to just say thank you for your commitment to continue to help my kids and all of the students out there finish the year as strong as they can, get through this tough time. And so we know that it is not easy, the job that you have right now, trying to figure out exactly how to make it the best experience you can for your students. And we know that you love your students so very much. We have seen that more than ever during this coronavirus situation.
Well, again, thanks for joining us here. Good Morning Georgetown on KHGT DB. It's Georgetown's hometown station. Time now 7:59 a.m. Josh, I got to tell you, man, it's been a whirlwind for a lot of folks trying to figure out what's the next step. So much uncertainty Kyle Cheatham provides a message to us that plays 7 days. It's a weekly message that you'll hear on this station every morning around 10:30, and I believe again at 5, 10:30 and 5, or 10:30 and 4. It's in the mornings and the afternoon. You'll hear it twice a day, the same message. It's 7 days a week. It's a word of encouragement. And he talked so much recently because these are very uncertain times, and it's brought a lot of people just wondering what's next, what's going to happen next. And I think, again, it all goes back to that mindset today that I talked about being friends and about encouraging people and helping each other out. If we can do that, we're going to get through this, Josh. But it's going to be tough, but we're going to make it through it.
Hey, Kyle's a dear friend, and I listen to him give those encouraging words, but also check in on Sunday and listen to his message that he had up. I think it's probably a week behind, you said, but maybe going to try to get him to go live on Sundays. And I'll tell you right now, Kyle has been one of my mentors and dear friends for many years. Terra Nova has supported our work through the years. And so, Kyle, thank you for always being such an encouragement and allowing God to use you to help us during this time. And you're a special, special guy, and we really appreciate you.
Before we bring Ashley Crosby Fraser on here in just a little bit, she's going to be our guest coming up here in a little bit, talking about Georgetown High School Project Graduation. Just wanted to mention before we get into that here in just a little bit, man, I'm kind of choked up this morning. You know, I've got the door open here to the studio. I love the home studio, Josh, because I'm on about 3/4 of an acre here on a cul-de-sac. And what I enjoy about this is when I brought this building onto this property, man, I guess 5 or 6 years ago, and of course finished it out last year, but I turned it to where the front of it actually faces the back because there's no development behind me. The guy behind me owns 14 acres. I'm looking at, this is crazy, man. I'm looking out of the studio front door right now. I've got it open, so it's a little humid in here. I'm looking out, and there is a deer. There is a deer that is staring right at me right now. There's Joshua's clock going off. There is a deer.
That's my grandfather's clock, everybody, letting you know it's 8 o'clock, Georgetown. Good morning.
There is a deer literally right out there. I'm taking a picture of it. I'm going to see if I can put it up on the Facebook stream. There's a deer. We have so many deer out here. But that dude, hey, deer, whoop, 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 whoop. You got to make noises so they look at you. There you go. He was looking right at me, dude.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what a deer will respond to as well. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So, I mean, literally, it was right out there in front of me, man. It just stared at me.
Well, they're not afraid. You know, it's amazing to see them in the neighborhoods, and they're just so used to people that they're not afraid, and they'll come right up to you. And I've been to your studio. Of course, we did the show out of there when you first got started, really getting this thing going and letting go of everything else and doing some stuff there. And it's a great studio, and it's great atmosphere over there is what you've done.
The atmosphere. Josh, do you have deer out at the Ridge, man?
We do. I mean, you've been out, you know exactly where we are, and we have some of the most beautiful animals out there that run around, and lots of deer and fox, and is it foxes or is it just fox, and lots of rabbits, and just lots of God's creations out there, and the guys get to enjoy that. And so, yeah, we have lots of deer.
Dude, I just saved the picture, and for whatever reason, you know how technology is with me. So even though I'm, and IT is my deal, I hate this because I'm going to have to send the picture to folks now turned sideways. And with this software that I use for the show, I can't rotate it. Wait, maybe I can here. Let's try this. Transform. Oh, I can. Look at that, Josh. Wow.
You got it. I knew you'd figure it out.
Now, hold on. If you're out there on Facebook, you're going to be able to see this in just a minute. I promise, Ashley, we're going to bring you on just in a minute here. Ashley may be waiting. Here we go. Let's pull this up here. So if you're on Facebook, you're getting a special treat this morning. This is what I was seeing. He just now moved away, but that's what I was seeing right out in front of the studio there. I don't know if you've got the stream up on the side there, Josh, so you can see it.
I do. I've got it, and there it is. Good picture.
There it is.
Put my readers on, though.
There it is,
oh,
man.
Yeah.
That dude.
Beautiful.
I need to mow back there, but I'm zoomed in pretty far. So that little deer was just hanging out right there in the back. He's looking at me, man. He's looking right at me. That's what friends are for. Hey, we'll step aside and take a break. Time now, 8:04 a.m. on KHGT-DB. It's Georgetown's hometown station. Good morning, Georgetown. We'll have Ashley Crosby Fraser joining us here in just a little bit. Stay with us. We're going to hear about Georgetown High School Project Graduation and more. We'll be right back here on The Morning Show. Stay with us, friends.
3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken
Joshua Harris.
Covington.
Love you, Ken. We got to change the audio. We love you, Ken. Ken is our morning co-host on Wednesdays, also the co-founder here of Good Morning Georgetown. Friends, welcome back. Time now is 8:06 a.m. here on Good Morning Georgetown on the Hip Radio Network. Appreciate you joining. Good morning, Georgetown. Hope everybody is having a wonderful and blessed morning. Got some positive news this morning coming out of the market. Sorry, man, I just abruptly ended that audio. Normally I fade that down. Of course, the stock market yesterday closing over 1,600. I know there's a lot of folks that are retiring or retirees, and they're worried they don't want to pull money out. I'm not a financial expert, but the market's closing over 1,600 yesterday. More positive news this morning, just on some numbers that may show some of this coronavirus. I mean, we still got a long ways to go, but it may show a little bit of stabilizing, and that's kind of helping the markets this morning. As we haven't opened up yet, but the futures are already showing the Dow up over 700, of course, rallying yesterday. So hopefully we'll continue that trend as we'll keep you updated. The market's, of course, opening up at 8:30 this morning. Want to welcome everybody into the show. Those of you that are on Facebook Live, feel free to say hello to us. We'll give you a little bit of shout-out here coming up in just a few moments. And also, if you are on the app, we've got quite a few folks joining us as well. As always, on the app, you can text us at 512-686-2030. Again, that number is 512-686-2030. I am so humbled and honored this morning to bring on a good friend and someone who does so much for this community and has a heart for others and just wants to be a friend to many, and she's got a heart of gold. I'm just going to say it like that. I hope she won't mind me saying that, because she does, and she knows she's a great person, and she knows this community and loves this community, and I'm going to bring her on right now, Miss Ashley Crosby Fraser. Good morning to you, Ashley. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I hope you didn't mind that introduction. I just have to say it because there's people in life that you meet that you know them by their smile, and you have that smile, and that's what when I think of Ashley Fraser, Crosby Fraser, I always think of the smile. So thank you for bringing that to it. We need that this morning.
Thank you.
How are you doing? How's everything going in your neck of the woods?
Good. Going a little stir crazy, but doing okay.
And just kind of trying to get through this whole situation like everybody else. You know, it's been tough. Well, hey, this morning you had sent me a comment, Ashley, and before we get into that, before we talk about what I brought you on, we've got two things we're going to talk about today. One of them is so critical. It is, of course, Georgetown High School Project Graduation. We want to talk about that and what the needs are for these kids and just how they're holding up. But then secondly, I want you to talk a little bit about The Locker this morning. That is an organization. Of course, you and your mom and your brother are heavily involved in that and just helping out kids. But before we talk about those two things, just talk a little bit about Georgetown and your love for this community and how you got here and what you've been doing, because you've been here for a very long time.
Yeah, so we actually moved here when I was 8, so in second grade. So 30 years, long time. And, this community, it's amazing. Those of us that have been here for a long time know how much it's changed. But some of the core values stay the same always. Used to, we could sit at a stoplight and we knew every person that went through. Shopping trips took hours because you had to visit with everybody. And that stuff changes because Georgetown's grown so much. But the core values of the town have stayed the same. And through our current crisis, if you want to call it that, that we're in, it's really come to light. A lot of the nonprofits have come together. And it's so cool because as soon as somebody puts out a need, it's filled half the time before I can even start typing. And I see that online too. People put out, my mother's elderly and she needs groceries. Can somebody help? And all of a sudden there's 300 comments.
Wow.
So the people that are willing to help and the way that the community comes together to help each other in their time of need. And right now, of course, we're seeing needs so much more than normal. But anytime, if you're on social media of any kind and you see somebody put out, I need help, there is no lack of help. It's actually you have to almost like compete to be the first one to offer because people are so quick to offer help, which is a truly amazing thing. And, friends in other communities, I know they don't have that. So that's really one of the things that makes Georgetown so special.
Now, you, of course, I know you. Everybody knows your brother Mason. I don't. I'm here talking to you, but everybody knows Mason. He's a legend of Georgetown. We love Mason. Your brother Reese, and then is it just y'all? Because that's the three that I know. So it's just you, and you're the sister.
Yes, I'm the big sister.
So what was that like growing up with the two brothers? Well, you're the older. So what was it like taking care of the two brothers?
They would probably tell you I'm extremely bossy, which would be pretty accurate. My mother would tell you the same thing. But no, we were best friends. We moved a ton with Dad's job. And so, we were together all the time. And I would probably tell you having two brothers is part of the reason I'm not like a super girly girl. We got, I've got more pictures of us covered in mud, dirt, scrapes than I do anything clean and having fun. But no, we had a blast. We all got along. Reese is 8 years younger than I am. So he was like my living baby doll. I hauled that kid everywhere. And we just had the best time. One of my favorite memories that Mom always tells too, and I can vividly remember doing this, is Reese was little baby and Mason and I were playing, and he had just gotten to that stage where he could sit up like with his hands between his knees, so he was real wobbly. And Mom hears us laughing and good head ball. And she comes in and we are bouncing a soccer ball off of Reese's little head, and he's wobbling back and forth like, good head ball, Bubba. We're about to determine to make him a soccer player from the get-go. But no, we just always had a great time. We were outside all the time playing, and we still, are together a ton and really enjoy each other. And but as much as we moved, we were really each other's, best friends always. So that's a really unique relationship we have.
Oh, that's cool. So you're 8 years older than Reese, the youngest. Mm-hmm. I've got to ask you, what is the age gap between you and Mason? Because this is going somewhere.
Yeah, 3.
3. Okay, so that's really close. The reason I was asking you that is I have an older sister. She's the oldest in our family. It's one sister, 2 brothers. Same situation. Except, and I got to tell you though, my sister and I, we did not get along growing up. She got so mad at me. This was horrible, Ashley. I'm always positive on this show, and my sister and I have a great relationship now because, of course, we're grown up and older. But she is 8 years older than me, and she's 4 years older. No, yeah, that's right. She's 8 years older than me and 4 years older than my brother. So I'm the baby in the family. Before she got into high school, I don't know what the deal was, but she and I did not get along, and we got into this huge fight one time. She took a black permanent marker. And she told me, and Rebecca, if you're watching, I love you. Don't worry. But she told me because we grew up in a smaller house. It was 3 bedroom, 2 bath. There was 3 kids and the parents. So, of course, my mom and dad had their room. My brother and I had to share a room, and then my sister had her own room. And she told me, she goes, there's a reason that Mom and Dad only built the house with 3 bedrooms and not one for you, right? And I said, why? And she goes, because you were an accident. And she took a black permanent marker and wrote accident on half of my stuff. And, oh, man, she got in so much trouble. So I love the big sisters. I love it. I love having a big sister. Here's what's cool, though. When she got into high school and started driving, it's kind of like you said, became like the little doll. She literally and I wish I had a picture I could show up on the screen for those on Facebook. She literally covered me in makeup and made me pose in front of the bookcase and put this beautiful blanket that we had and, took pictures of me and dressed me up as a woman a little girl, put me in bluebonnets, took pictures of me. But when she got into high school, though, this is when we started getting along because she drove me everywhere, and she always wanted to take me places. So I love big sisters, and so I know that that's a special relationship, and it's so cool. So I'm glad I didn't never know that. I never thought about that you're the big sister, 2 little brothers. That's the same situation with my sister. So, man, I've always respected you. Now I just really got a connection right there, Ashley. So, well, hey, we're talking to Ashley Crosby Fraser this morning here on Good Morning Georgetown. I had put out a question and just asking about, what's going on and what can we do for the community. And one area that we want to make sure that we don't forget about, we have so many people, of course, and our first responders and our doctors and our nurses that are taking care of people. And there's just so many people across the board right now that are doing their part and trying to help out. But it's the seniors in high school. that are the ones that this is going to be difficult for a lot of them. And hopefully things will get better sooner than later. But Ashley, talk a little bit about your connection to Georgetown High School Project Graduation and kind of what you guys are doing and how the seniors are handling this right now.
Yeah, so I have 3 kids, a girl and then 2 boys. And so my oldest graduated 2 years ago. She's going into her junior year of college next year. And, you know, I don't know about you, Rob, but for me, my graduation at the actual ceremony is kind of a blur. And we used to be in the stadium, and so it was hot and we were just ready for it to be over. But Project Graduation is such an amazing event. It's that last hurrah for the seniors. It's that last time to all be together. We used to have it at the community center. Now they have it at the schools. But it's just the last time for us to just be together, just really relax. It's all night long. That's just a great night for the seniors to spend that one last fun, awesome memory. And I remember mine like it was yesterday, and it was 20 years ago. It was so much fun. It's such an amazing event. And the seniors this year are having such a weird spring. You know, they've missed their prom for most of them, or will miss prom. Graduation is an unknown at this point. We don't know when, if, how, what that will look like. And for the parents, my middle child is a senior this year. And for the parents, it's really kind of bittersweet because they're going on to their next adventure. So after, you know, June, July, they're really on to the next thing. So high school's kind of behind them, and they're ready to move on. So whenever graduation happens, hopefully sooner rather than later, we want to make sure Project Graduation happens as well, that they still get that big, huge going away party. And as a parent who's volunteered with it, it's a super fun night. It's amazing to see kids come together, kids that maybe weren't friends in high school, but were friends prior to that. And all of a sudden it's okay to hang out again. And the groups of kids, there's, oh my gosh, what all do we have? I think they have silent discos in the past. We have like a casino area where they can win fake money to then go bid on, or like put auction items in, buy raffles for auction items. They have a money grab. They've got DJs. They've got all kinds of games. And local businesses donate goods. And the kids can use their fake money to go and buy raffle tickets, and they put it in. And my daughter came home from hers with a kayak. I don't know what she was going to do with a kayak.
How did she get that thing home?
Yeah, she won a kayak.
That's awesome.
So, you know, I mean, those kind of things that are just so fun. And just to have that last memory. And for us as parents, I mean, to be able to be there that night, now it's not as easy to stay up all night as it used to be, but to be able to be there all night with the kids and really just see them being like little kids again. Because that's what they look like. They're running around and, oh my gosh, let's go play this and let's go play this. And I mean, they're just having a great time, and to get to see them have that youth and that fun at the end of such a stressful time, I think especially now more than ever, that's needed.
And your 2 youngest, what grades are they in?
So my oldest is a sophomore in college, then my middle one's a senior, and then my baby's a freshman.
Wow. So yeah, it's a tough situation. You know, I can't. There's no way that even you or me, we can't put ourselves in their shoes, because we didn't have to go through that situation, and it's got to be tough. You know, right next door to me, one of my neighbors, I've watched her daughter grow. It's crazy, because you talk about when you quickly said 20 years ago, you know, it's like I moved into this house, I want to say 15 years ago, and literally knew her daughter when she was just a little kiddo, and her son before he was even born, and now he's already in junior high and her daughter's about to graduate. And so, you know, she has posted some things on social media, just how tough it is for her daughter. How is, if you don't mind me asking, I don't want to be too personal, but how has it been for your daughter as a senior? I mean, what are some of the things that maybe she or maybe some of the other seniors, what are they thinking right now? How are they coping with this? How are they trying to get through this right now?
Well, my son's actually the senior, and his situation is really different. Actually, he qualified for graduation back in December, so he hasn't been in school this spring. He graduated early, is what they call that. But for most of the seniors, I mean, think about I don't know if you can remember back, but that last semester of your senior year, there's so many things going on. It's exciting because you've got prom, you've got graduation, you're so close to being done. But at the same time, it is terrifying because you're fixing to go out in the world all by yourself. You have to get those finals done. You've got all of your last classes. For those that, are in the top 10%, they're, and they're just so anxious over their GPA, making sure they stay in that top 10%. So it's an exciting time and it's a scary time, all the going on just all at the same time. And so that's part of it. That's part of the senior experience. They miss their senior day. A lot of kids are missing out on their college acceptance day. They're missing out on their college visits. I've seen a lot of friends talking about how their kids don't know from their top 3 schools they've been accepted to which one they want to go to because they haven't been able to revisit. So they're missing the stuff with their friends. They're missing their last sports season ever for a lot of them. Some kids will go on and play in college, but also for those kids that haven't gotten offers, they don't have the season to show. The baseball players, the track players, or the track runners, the athletes, the softball players, they don't have this season to show the scouts their last season of sports. So for a lot of them, that'll affect where they play in college. So there's just so many lasts that are bittersweet and wonderful that we don't get, that the kids don't get now. Those are the big memories. Your last time for a lot of kids that don't get to move on and play sports in college, these are their lasts, and they didn't know last spring was their last. And so missing out on that is really hard for a lot of kids.
We're talking to Ashley Crosby Fraser this morning of Georgetown High School Project Graduation. Appreciate her time here and being on Good Morning Georgetown, as we always want to keep folks up to date here on this show of what's going on and just how we can get involved and how we can help. Before I ask you that, we do have our co-host on the show with us this morning as well, Joshua Harris of the Oak Ridge Disciple House. I don't know if you know Joshua, Ashley, or not, but Josh is here with us this morning, and I'm going to bring him on here for just a second. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Ashley, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for what you're doing. We've been talking about these very things over the last couple of weeks about the seniors, and with Rob and all of us being a part of the sports world with Georgetown athletics and surrounding it. You're so right about how they're missing out on a lot of these things, but the way that you're encouraging and being a part of their worlds and trying to keep them going and positive, it's amazing. So I just wanted to say you guys are doing great. I don't want to chime in too much, but I just wanted to say thank you for your heart for the students and the student athletes. And it is a tough end of the year, and there's a lot of laughs that are being missed. But we're all going to grow through this, and I know that by you encouraging and the team that you've kind of put together with Project Graduation, I know that you're making it the best experience that you can. And, we're all going to be stronger through this. But thank you so much for what you're doing for the community.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, and we're just all, trying to figure out what are the next steps and how are these kids going to get through it. And I think, the way that they're going to get through it is we've got to be there for them. Ashley, of course, as you know, and talk a little bit more, if you don't mind, this morning as we continue to talk to Ashley Fraser here with Georgetown High School Project Graduation. Do you mind just kind of identifying your role with Project Graduation? Because I know that any committee, there's different roles, kind of your role in Project Graduation.
I'm just a parent. That's really all that. And, whenever you said somebody could talk, I got nominated because they all know I like to talk. Definitely not a problem I have. But no, I'm just a parent. And that's the cool thing about Project Graduation is it's just parents. We're just a bunch of parents that have come together and want our kids to have a last hurrah, just that last fun night.
How can folks get involved? There's someone that says, I really feel for these kids at Georgetown. And next week we're going to have Eastview come on as well because, we have Georgetown awesome. And, of course, we have Eastview as well. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that they get support as well because there's 2 schools, of course, in this community. How can folks get involved, Ashley? If there's someone out there that says, I really want to help, I want to be a part of this, maybe even someone that doesn't have kids can possibly get involved. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah, anybody. I mean, it's a community event. That's what's really cool is that we have people from all over the community that help out. So, yeah, we need donations of items from local businesses. Like I said, my daughter won a kayak. There's TVs, there's bedding, there's, any kind of dorm essentials. But I mean, we do have the big items. We've got the TVs, we've got the kayaks, the large items too. Way back when we even had cars donated. A friend of mine actually won a car at his project graduation. It was crazy. But then of course, monetary donations. It does take a lot to put this on. And then through monetary donations as well, we can also go and buy items then that the kids can win and go home with. So there's a Venmo and it's at GHS Project Graduation 2020.
Okay, I'll put that on the Facebook stream too. So it's the Venmo is, you said it was
at GHS Project Graduation 2020.
Okay. And that's one way. If you have Venmo, by the way, if you don't know what Venmo, a lot of folks, they may not know Venmo is just an app. A lot of people do know, but there may be some. It's just an app where you can donate financial resources and help out.
And then there's a GoFundMe. That's just GHS.project.graduation-2020. So it's just GoFundMe.com. And then GHS Project Graduation 2020.
Yeah, GoFundMe.com /GHS Project Graduation 2020. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make that easier for you guys as well. There's a service called TinyURL. And so we're going to do TinyURL GHS Graduation. Let's see if that's available. And it is. So just go to tinyurl.com, and this will be good forever now. tinyurl.com /GHS Graduation. And so again, tinyurl.com /GHS Graduation. That is the GoFundMe page, and we'll make that easy for you there. Ashley, just an incredible opportunity here to help out these kids. Now, businesses, not just financial resources, but they may have items that they want to donate. What kind of items are you guys looking for?
Just anything that the students can use. Just really for our raffle area at this point. If you want to donate food, beverages, we also have a snack thing because they're up all night, and anybody that knows teenagers know they can eat, and not just teenage boys, they can all eat. But just items basically for the raffle at this point is what we're looking for, that the kids can win. And it's just anything that a student might need. We've had interesting things. We've had portable hammocks. We've had computers, TVs, Nerf football sets. Just anything that a teenager would have fun with.
Tattoo guns.
College stuff that you had.
What about tattoo guns and ink? Any of that? No, I'm just
kidding. A lot of us would like that too, but
don't bring a tattoo gun and ink. That's all good.
Do not, that would be an awful idea.
Well, we're talking again.
Trouble,
yeah, don't do that, please. Now, look, we got some great tattoo companies here in town. I love you guys, but don't donate the gun, okay? but we're talking to Ashley Crosby Fraser again this morning here on Good Morning Georgetown about GHS Project Graduation. Appreciate her time here being on the show. Ashley, I wanted to ask you. I don't want to be be negative or pessimistic, but is there a possibility that this event won't happen due to COVID-19? And if that is a possibility, kind of what is the backup plan, and what are some ideas that are being tossed around right now?
There really isn't a backup plan. We're just all hoping that we go forward. But of course, there's the possibility of it being canceled because we don't even know what graduation is going to look like. We don't know if or when it will happen. That's all so up in the air. But as parents of these seniors, we're just trying to be positive and move forward, thinking this will happen. Let's be positive for our kids. Let's set the example. Let's hope and pray that it happens. And if we move forward like it's going to happen and it doesn't, then we'll come up with a plan at that point. But right now I know everything, and everything is just up in the air in every sector. And until we get some kind of answers or a plan in place, we're just kind of playing it by ear, and we'll see what happens. And but at this point, we're moving forward like we're going to have it. It may not happen in May. It may happen in June or July or August or who knows. But we're just planning on letting those kids have that whenever they can. So that's why we're moving forward with all of our plans. That way, once we're given a date and we're told something's going to happen, hopefully we can go ahead and move forward and get that done.
Well, we'll definitely keep those seniors in our prayers. And again, if you can donate, we put the links there on Facebook. You can go to tinyurl.com/GHS graduation to donate financially. And as always, you can just reach out to us here at HRN, or you can follow on Facebook as well. I believe you guys have a page that I saw, GHS Class of 2020 as well,
Yes.
and post information there. Ashley, appreciate you talking about that. I want to transition real quick into the locker. Of course, just a great organization, kids helping kids. And I know that we're kind of shifting gears here from that to this, but I wanted to give you an opportunity because anytime we can talk about the locker, we absolutely want to. Can you tell us, there may be folks joining us this morning that says, I've never heard of the locker. Talk about the organization, the locker, why it was founded, and kind of how it started and what it's doing to help out kids here in Georgetown.
So we started in 2008. It was simple. There was a group of athletes that wanted to be more. They wanted to be more than just athletes. They wanted a way to give back. So we are a service learning organization, which means we teach kids to serve in a meaningful way. And then from that service, then we are able to help kids in need. So what that looks like is a story that we tell a lot is we had a student years ago, way back at the beginning, and we're called in, little kid, elementary kiddo, and he needs help. He needs stuff. So we go in, look him down, okay, he needs shoes. The shoes have holes in them. They're obviously too small. He needs new clothes. His clothes are, too small or worn out. And they've got tears in them. He needs some hygiene products. We go through the whole, okay, we got him taken care of. And then asked, so what do you need, sweetheart? I just need a Halloween costume to be in the parade with my friends.
Wow.
So meaningful service. So we teach the kids that we need to be meaningful about what we're doing. Because, he needed the clothes. He needed the hygiene items. He needed the shoes. He needed those things. But his need was that he needed a Halloween costume to be in the parade with all of his friends. So we need to make sure that we're meaningful in the way we serve. So that's what we teach kids, is to give back. And then Mom for years worked at the Juvenile Detention Center and then at GAP, the alternative program here in Georgetown. And so she taught those kids how to give back and to give back to the community in huge ways. I mean, they did huge Christmas parties. So the locker has transitioned from, we're still a service learning organization. The kids are still all about service. But we started out with 2 shelves and about 40 items. And now we have lockers all throughout the state of Texas. And, that's just, it's a place where any kid can go. It doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is. It doesn't matter if you financially qualify for anything, because the only qualification that we have for any kid is that they need something. And that could literally be your parents live in the biggest, nicest, most gorgeous house in the town, but you have lost every pencil you have and have a test next period. So you just run in the locker and grab a pencil. I mean, so it's literally anything. Or how many times as athletes have we realized, oh my gosh, our deodorant is out and we have to go to class. So you just swing by the locker and grab it. So it's literally for any kid in need. And then we started out basic needs, hygiene items, school supplies, clothing, and we still provide all of those. Our physical lockers on campuses have school supplies, basic clothing items, and hygiene items. But then we've also, over the last 12 years, we've started growing in that we fill a niche that nobody else does. And so you're an athlete and something happens. Mom gets sick, dad loses his job. There's a car accident, something happens and your family goes into crisis. Well, because of that crisis, you're going to have to drop out off the basketball team or the football team or the soccer team. So your family is in crisis and now you're going to lose your support system. So the locker steps in and covers your fees. That way your family can focus on what's actually important. AP test fees, we cover those. So you're a super crazy smart kid. You're taking AP tests, trying to get those college credits from that. And for those that don't know, AP is advanced placement. And you can get college credit if you get a certain score on the test. Well, those tests are $95 a piece. So congratulations, you're really, really smart, but mom and dad can't afford the $95. So sorry, you don't get anything. UIL fees, caps and gowns. There's dress codes for graduation. And we found out a few years ago, a local high school, when it let 3 boys walk because they didn't have the proper clothes on. Now I joke because I said, I'm so glad I wasn't there because I would have been undressing people in the audience. I would have found people the same size and we would have been swapping clothes. So now that school has a tote of just random, every size white shirts, a bunch of different size pants. That way that doesn't ever happen again. If somebody shows up and doesn't have the right stuff, they have it. They just have a tote, grab something out, put it on and go ahead and graduate. So we just cover a whole lot of different items. The last line of our mission statement says that so that every child has a sense of normalcy. And normalcy is different for everyone. We don't know what normal is for person to person. We actually just had a request come through the nonprofits that a young boy with some disabilities needed a Walkman and some CDs because that is how he stayed calm. Finding that now is a challenge, but the community came together and was able to find that, and that was amazing. But everybody has a different normal. But we just want to make sure that kids have their normalcy, because when families go into crisis, whatever that may be, if it's a long-term crisis, if it's a short-term crisis, kids need that normalcy. Being a kid, being a teenager, that's so hard anyways. So we just try to keep that normalcy there.
And Ashley, we're talking again this morning to Ashley Crosby Fraser. We talked about Georgetown High School Project Graduation just a little bit ago, and now we're talking about the Locker, which is an organization that's helping out kids in need. And Ashley, there's something else too that I wanted to bring up, that we do have kids in Georgetown that are homeless, and and the thing is, and when you think of homeless, before I knew a lot about that word, I guess, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but when I think of the word a homeless, I think of someone living under a bridge, or someone that doesn't have, a house and they're living under a bridge, but that's not always the case. You could be homeless, which means you don't have a place to lay your head at night. And we have kids in this community that they're not living under a bridge, but maybe they're staying with friends or they're couch surfing. This organization, the Locker, is helping to empower those kids that are having a hard time. They don't have resources from their parents or whoever to get basic necessities like socks or deodorant or underwear. Talk a little bit about that and just the impact that that's making on those kids also.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, finding out that Georgetown has a homeless issue with their teenagers, with kids, is something no community wants to realize, that we don't want to think about. But the reality is, it is here. And that could be, like you said, it could be the kid that just doesn't have anybody taking care of them, so they couch surf. They jump from house to house, whoever let them sleep in a spot, and whoever will let them go. It could be 4 or 5 families living together with one other family. If you're living in a household that you are not on the lease, that you are not, they're not your legal guardians, then you're considered homeless. We have students, you guys, that are living with no running water and no electricity. We have kids that are sleeping in cars. We have kids that don't know where their next bed or their next meal or their next shower is going to be. We've had so many kids that in case you guys don't know, we have amazing staff in the schools here in Georgetown. And we've had kids who the coaches have washed their clothes every day because they have no way of doing it at home, because there is no running water, there's no electricity. We have kids that, just don't know what's going to happen, that their parents either can't or won't take care of them, or some that travel with their parents and go from family member to family member to family member, or the kids have all been split up because they've lost their house or something has happened and they can't stay together. So this kid goes to this family member, and this one goes to this family member, and that one goes to that family member. And we see that a lot. We help with the foster situation sometimes too, especially those middle of the night moves. You've got a kid that moves foster homes or is removed from their family in the middle of the night, and they show up at school the next day and they literally have the clothes on their back. And so we step in and help out with that. But yeah, homelessness is not something that we want to think about, especially when it pertains to kids. And I know even back when we started the locker and really started looking at the homeless population in Georgetown, when as it pertains to students, and even being shocked at the numbers at that point. It's amazing. And to be able to find resources for a lot of those kids, especially those that fall through the cracks. If you are, we've had a few instances over the past few years, 18-year-old males that are still in school, but they don't qualify for anything. It is so hard for that population to find services. They can't qualify for, they do qualify, let me rephrase it. They qualify for assisted housing and stuff, but they're going to be so down on the wait list that it could be years and years and years before they ever come up, because females, especially females with kids, they're going to be higher up on the list. So single males, it's going to take a really long time. So we've seen a lot of that over the years. That population is a big challenge because they're still in school, so they're a student, but they're 18, so they don't qualify for a lot of the stuff a student would. But then they're not prepared to be out on their own. So yeah, we do a lot of help with that. We just do what we can, and that's again what the meaningful service is. What do you need?
I think
because we all want to get beds and mattresses, but a lot of times if you've got 16 people in the house, there's not room for that. So sleeping bags have to work.
Well, more information about the locker. I accidentally messaged you on Facebook, Ashley, so I put it on the Facebook chat. I'm like, you already know what it is. I just sent it to you. But I put it there. It's thelocker.info is the website. Again, thelocker.info. I also tagged the page. So please go by and like that page and get involved and help out there. Your mom has done such incredible work. And then, of course, you and your entire family. And your brother comes in from time to time. In fact, I guess it was year before last I'd interviewed your brother, and I still have that interview, and I need to get that video edited so we can put it up. And but he talked about his involvement with the locker, and I know that's been a big catalyst as well. But really at the end of the day, it's just the love that your family and your mom has for these kids that this came out of her heart, and now it's just breathed life into not only you and your brother and your family, but the entire community. And now it's amazing because not just the entire Georgetown community, but now quite literally across the state. And I know that you guys have bigger plans. So thank you for sharing that with us, Ashley. Well, Joshua Harris here as well, back with us here on Good Morning Georgetown. I know that Josh had a couple of things here. Let me flip back over. See, I don't have a producer, Ashley, so I kind of have to click and move. A while ago when I put you guys both up, it had the names flipped. It had Josh. It said that you were Josh and that Josh was you. So we flipped those names now, but we'll bring Josh back on now.
Hey, Ashley, I loved hearing you talk about Project Graduation, and that was amazing. But let me tell you something. This segment right here with the closet is near and dear to my heart. And I'm so blown away, and I can just hear your passion. I can hear your heart behind it. And helping. I want you to know that Oak Ridge, we are through and through outreach for men 18 and up. And so if I can ever help a guy that that's 18 and 19 and still trying to figure out exactly what to do, we want to partner with you in that. But we have an amazing outreach division, and we do a lot of helping men and families get the things that they need. We have an incredible men's home closet that we are able to, most of our guys that come to the recovery houses, they come with nothing, the shirts on their back, and, they're at that place where God's got them. There's nothing left but to look at him, and that's where we like them. But I have an incredible men's home closet, both here and down in Conroe at the Disciple House down there, of clothes. And I'm not talking about things that people throw away because they don't want them anymore. We have had such an outpouring over the last 10 years of people donating clothes for these men. I a lot of times have more than we know what to do with, and we'll, of course, give a lot to the caring place and things like that. But I have a lot of really nice clothes, from everyday clothes to interview clothes to graduation clothes, suits, all those kinds of things. If you're in need of any items, if you'll get a hold of me or send me a list or send it to Rob, I'll get my associate director to look through our closets. We have things in storage that we haven't even put out yet. Anything that we can help with when it comes to clothing and helping anybody that you need to put a wardrobe together and to feel better about themselves. we want to partner with you in that. So I'm going to let you guys kind of finish up, but just wanted to tell you I'm so excited about the work that the locker is doing. And if we could, even with personal hygiene, we get a lot of those kinds of things donated as well. If we can help in any way, we definitely want to partner with the locker and be a part of that effort, because I think it's amazing outreach what you're doing. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Josh.
Well, Ashley, appreciate you. Josh, as always, appreciate you. Josh will stay with me here for the final 15 minutes or so. Ashley, before we let you go, I really appreciate your time this morning and just sharing with us. It's so easy to see your passion through what you do, not only with Project Graduation, but, of course, with the locker. Just wanted to give you a final opportunity here with any final statements, Ashley. And, again, thanks for being with us this morning.
Yeah, just right now, it doesn't matter which nonprofit, what charity is close to your heart. There's so many amazing ones in Georgetown. We all support each other, especially right now. We have come together tighter than we ever have been. But just think about your charities. I know that people are struggling right now. The needs are so unique. People are asking what they can do to help. And really right now, a lot of us just need monetary donations because we don't know. We don't know what the needs are going to look like. I actually have a table full. If you can see my table, well, you can't see my table because it's covered in clothes. We've got kids that are needing clothes. It's getting warm, you guys. And they've grown from last year. Or they've just worn it out. And they need clothes. And mom and dad, we know there are so many people out of work right now. And so we're needing to take stuff to houses. We need school supplies. We need hygiene, but we don't know what we're going to need. So just, love on your nonprofits, whatever your charity of choice is, even if it's not the locker, that's okay. Just, love on them, pray, think of how you can help and, reach out and see what they may need. But I really appreciate you having me on this morning, Rob. You do so much for the community. You're always such a huge supporter. And so I really appreciate this time this morning.
Hey, well, we love Georgetown. You've been here for a long time as well. And when you talked about the old Birkelbach field over there, I remember that. Did you graduate in 2000?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was 02. So, but yeah. we talk about that old field over there, and those bring back some good old memories. Before I let you go, can I put you on the spot real quick? Do you mind?
Sure.
We're going to have a little bit, just a real quick little fun session here. I did this with Josh earlier. I'm going to play a little tune, and I want you to think about the first thing that comes on your mind, okay? We're just going to have one little final fun here. Just the first thing that comes on your mind. I'm going to play it, and then I'll turn it back down. Here it is. All right, Ashley, what pops into your mind?
Literally the first thing that came to my mind was a homecoming pep rally, because that's what that sounded like. And then we were talking about Birkelbach Field, but just fun.
Awesome. Well, Ashley,
we all need fun.
Yeah, that's well. Thanks for being here. I posted the links on our Facebook page for those that are listening on the app. Go to thelocker.info for more information, and also Georgetown GHS Class of 2020 on Facebook. And if you have the resources to do so financially, it's tinyurl.com. That's tinyurl.com/GHS graduation. Ashley, thank you so much for being here. God bless you guys. Tell your mama, tell your sweet mama hello. I always say your sweet mama. Tell her hello, and we appreciate all that you do, Ashley.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you, Ashley. Great job.
Once again, that was Ashley Fraser here joining us this morning. We'll step aside, take another break. When we come back, Josh and I will get right back after it. We'll continue the discussions and more. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Georgetown on the HIP Radio Network. We'll be right back here in just a few moments.
Hey, can you hear me? I have to log off at 9 o'clock.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the HIP Radio Network Weather Center. Overcast today with a high of 87. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows level off around 70 tonight. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 89. Turning much cooler Thursday and Friday with highs from the upper 60s to the low 70s. Storms both days. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 69 degrees.
Welcome back. Good Morning Georgetown right here. HIP Radio Network, Georgetown. Josh, I had to throw that in there for you, buddy, because I know that is that's our new theme song, Josh, when I got you on here on the morning show. What do you think about it, brother? Come on.
What? All right, man. I like it. I like your creativity, and we always have a great time.
I don't even know
what a great. I just want to say, Rob, what a great interview and time with Ashley. I love when you hear someone talk about something that they're passionate about or something that they're doing that's really making a difference. And you can tell she's very authentic. She loves these kids and families. And she's right, Rob. I had no idea till I opened up the Ridge. I had no idea either how bad the homeless situation was in Georgetown, because when you think of Georgetown, you think of a more affluent community. There's lots of resources, those kind of things. But when I opened up the Ridge and started to see the guys coming that were 18 and up, that were high school students at one time in Georgetown, I've graduated at least 10 that that went to Georgetown High School, played athletics, things like that ended up falling into the wrong world and the wrong crowds. And then also we started seeing the situation and how there were guys living on the streets right here in Georgetown. And so the work that they're doing is absolutely amazing, and just sitting there listening to her passion. And that's what it's all about, especially right now during this pandemic and so forth. Great job interviewing her and her sharing all of those great avenues to help and get involved. And so please, everybody, let's all band together and let's help the Locker. Let's help Project Graduation, and let's help Ashley and all those parents that are really trying to make a difference in the community.
Josh, appreciate you. I know we got a few more minutes. You got to sign off. We'll be off right at 9 this morning. Hey, I always like to go over what National Day it is today. All right, there's a few of them in there that I don't really care for, but here's one that
Did you see the one that I think you're thinking of? And I saw it this morning. And let me tell you this day in history. Just do one this morning. This day in history ended Prohibition. And so today, you'll probably talk about it, is National what?
I wasn't going to, but now I will. National Beer Day. Today's National Beer Day.
And I read a funny line from CNN that said, it's not only National Beer Day, but I think for a lot of folks going through what they're going through every day here during this pandemic is National Beer Day.
Daily Beer Day.
So Prohibition ended today, this day in history, and it's National Beer Day. So, here's the deal. Enjoy your adult beverages. That's not what I have a problem with at all. It's when it becomes an issue like it did for me and so many. And so enjoy your adult beverages, just enjoy them responsibly. And it's really good that everybody's having to stay home right now and not get in their cars and drive.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's National Beer Day, but we've been talking about the mamas today, and the mamas, and the mamas. I think there was an old Tupac song that's like, and the mama's mama, and the baby mama's mama,
Yes.
So we're talking about the mamas. Yes. We love the mamas this morning. And mamas, this is your day. It's not Mother's Day, but this is close to Mother's Day. It's National No Housework Day. So, look, mamas, why don't today it's National No Housework Day. Put down the cleaning solution and toss aside the laundry for one day each year, April the 7th. It can wait. April the 7th. That'd be cool if it fell on the April day. My birthday's tomorrow, Josh. Man, I wish that we would have had a birthday with you tomorrow, buddy. I'm going to have it with Ken.
Rob, tomorrow is your birthday?
Birthdays was the worst days, and now I do Good Morning Georgetown when I'm thirsty.
Who's your co-host on Wednesday mornings? I can't remember the list.
Kenny G.
Kenny G. So Kenny G's going to sing you happy birthday.
He better. He's a musician too, so I'm going to tell him.
Well, Rob,
I'm going to tell him.
Let me tell you something. You're what, Rob? 52?
No, going on 84.
Yeah,
looking
going on
good,
84.
dude.
Feels
Looking
like some
good.
of these days. But all kidding aside, how old will you be tomorrow?
36.
36.
No.
Here's what I want to do.
Josh,
we're about to sign off.
36.
And I won't be on tomorrow, and I'll shoot you a happy birthday message. But man, from my heart, from Oak Ridge Ministries, from the Harris House, and all who I know that know you, want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. And I pray right now that the Lord would bless not only the day. I know it's hard to have a birthday these days, being kind of locked away and staying safe with this, social distancing. But not only do I pray that tomorrow's a great day for you with family, but also that this next year is the best year, Rob, that you've seen yet, man, and that the Lord would bless it and take this thing to the next level for you.
Man, I appreciate that.
Rob.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. We'll have a good time tomorrow, and I'm gonna turn 36. I'm going to start saying 30 like that. It's just fun. Sometimes when you say words and you change the way it's like exercise for your mouth. 36. Try it. Say it. 30.
36.
Yeah, it feels good. 30.
36.
Hey,
Rob, let me tell you something. With all this weight loss and all this new health kick that you've been involved in, I can honestly say, and I'm not being ugly, that a couple of months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, you looked like you were probably turning 46. But I can honestly say, with the weight loss and the way even your skin and everything's looking with the different lifestyle changes, I can say you're looking like you're turning 30 tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate that.
Birthday.
Hey, I made a critical mistake. I wanted to be I'm going to just call you my accountability partner. I really messed up yesterday, buddy. And I'm going to be honest. You can ask Bridget. It put me in a bad mood all night. It literally did. How many know? Here's that. See, how many know that when you do something that you shouldn't do, sometimes it puts you in a bad mood. When you've been doing so, I ended up going to McDonald's last night, Josh. What was I thinking?
Yep. My moment of weakness. What were you craving? What were you craving?
Just a quarter pounder, dude. And I caved in. But I didn't indulge in it like I normally do. So it worked out.
Was the last burger though the last time you told us that you went and you hadn't had a burger in a long time, and you went and had a burger and last?
It was like a week in between. You know?
So you know what, Rob? And it's your body, not you're putting you in a bad mood because you've been doing so good. But here's the reality of it. And you know me, I lost 100 plus pounds. About 12 years ago, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me, getting my health under control, even through all the drug use and all those things. I had turned food into an addiction. And so you do at first, but here's the deal. You can reward yourself once a week with a hamburger and not feel bad about that. As long as the rest of your week is doing what your body is calling you to do, and especially with your doctors telling you, hey, listen, you need to start living a healthy lifestyle. Don't beat yourself up about having a burger once a week if that's the cheat meal that you want to have, because in reality, your body needs kind of those carbs and things like that, and it does good with your metabolism to have that cheat meal. Just don't make it something that you're doing every day. You're doing great, Rob.
Well, I appreciate
We're
it,
all
man.
proud of you.
Well, I got down to 202, man, and so I just want to use that as an inspiration and encouragement to others that you can do it. But as I've told you, you got 2 more minutes. If you got 2 more minutes real quick. I know you got to go right at 9.
Yes,
right?
you bet.
2 more minutes.
Bet.
So I want to encourage you to do this morning. Anybody out there that may be struggling and dealing with things, I'm going to tell you right now. And look, I know there's a lot of folks that are in the health industry, and I'm not bashing any of that. Okay, so first let's get that out of the way. But I'm going to tell you, there is no potion, lotion, powder, or pill that's going to help you with self-discipline. It starts with self-discipline. And I know that so many of us, Josh, and I was in the same boat. And again, there's a lot of supplements that do great things, and I'm not knocking those. But even before the supplements, you have to have the self-discipline. And it's how do you have that discipline? For me, it was a very real situation of, well, if you don't change, bad things are really going to happen. And so for me, it wasn't just a choice. It was something that it was a choice, but it was something I had to do. So I want to encourage you this morning to know that it starts with self-discipline. And if you don't have the self-discipline, get with somebody that you're close to, and you just sit them down and say, will you please help me through this situation? Now, me as a believer, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to say, God, help me through this situation. But I think God also provides people in our life that we need as an accountability partner that you hear so much. We need somebody that we can talk to, Josh, and we have to say, look, I need help with this discipline. Can you help guide me through this process? That's what it's going to take, man. And that's it. That's the truth.
You better believe it. It took it, and it's same for me. 12 years ago, Dr. Nacole here in Georgetown looked at me he looked at my blood work. I had a physical. He said, Joshua, I know your history behind all the drug use, and I know what you've done to your body already. If you don't get your weight and your diet and the way you're living through your eating habits under control, you will not. He said, I'm not playing God. He said, you will not watch your children graduate from high school because your blood work looks like you're 80 years old. And that was the kick that I needed. Like you as a Christian, I went home, I fell on my face. I said, Lord, you help me get out of all of that drug addiction and give me the strength every day to not live that way any longer. I need your help with this. And so that's where it started. But I put people around me to help me. And it's waking up every day and deciding, who am I going to be today? And it is about self-discipline. And it doesn't happen overnight, but if you'll just start to change the way you're thinking about food and what you're putting into your body and knowing that it is literally killing you, and you decide that that's not who you want to be anymore, and then you put the people around you to spur you on. Hebrews says this: let us sharpen each other as iron sharpens iron. And that's what you've done, and that's what I've done. And we encourage anybody, if you want help with that, we'll help you. And Rob, you're looking great, and I'm so proud of you, man. You keep winning, buddy.
Appreciate it. Josh, thanks for being on. I know you got to get rolling. Thank you for being on the show. Any final comments before you go this morning, brother?
Hey, it's my pleasure. And just like Ashley said as well when she closed, as a nonprofit, we are a nonprofit. Oak Ridge Ministries has not shut their doors. We have not we've shut things down to not accept anybody new at this time, but we do have 8 men out of the 10 beds filled up there on the ridge. I have a staff that we're still paying. We still have all the bills that we've ever had. The one thing that we're happy about right now is that we're not doing all the driving that we do in the community to do all the service projects and all the things that we do with 2 vans and a vehicle and all those things. And so we're saving on gas, but we still have all the insurance. We still have all the food. We still have all the bills, all the things that we have to do to operate. So please, giving has pretty much gone to a trickle, which we understand because everybody's scared right now, but we need your help. If you're able to help Oak Ridge, please continue to send your donations in. Oak Ridge Disciple House, Oak Ridge Ministries is the 501c3, P.O. Box 542, Florence, Texas, 76527. That is on the website, www.oakridgedisciplehouse.com. We don't do online giving. We just never wanted to get into credit cards and things like that, get people into debt. If you can't afford it, then we don't want you to do it, but we may do that in the future for banking and things. But please continue to support our work. But more than anything, please continue to pray that none of our guys will catch this virus so that everybody doesn't get it up there. And we thank you so much from all of us at Oak Ridge for your support through these last 10 years. And we're looking forward to the next 10 years as God leads us into this new beginning that we're all seeing right now. But we do need your continued support. So please help us. And we do run fundraisers on Facebook as well. Rob, from all of us at Oak Ridge, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your heart. And thank you for everything that you've done through Oak Ridge over the last 3 or 4 years that we've been partnering together.
You got it, brother. Well, hey, God bless you. Have a great day, man, and appreciate you. I'm already looking forward, as the clock is chiming, I'm already looking forward to next Tuesday, brother. Have a great day, man.
Love you, man. Happy Jesus loves you birthday, Rob.
I always look forward to that every year from Josh. Again, Joshua Harris of the Oak Ridge Disciple House. Appreciate him joining us, and Josh, have a great day. Well, friends, before I end the show, I just wanted to go to a few things here and just say thank you to everybody for being a part of this show here today. I wanted to remind you that we are taking a call to action this morning. We've been doing it. We're going to extend this through the rest of the month. Look, the City of Georgetown and the Chamber of Commerce have put together a wonderful grant package to help out businesses. If you are incorporated with the Secretary of State, if you have a business in the city limits, and if you are not a home-based business. So if you're those 3 categories, if you're in the city limits, you're incorporated, and you're not a home-based business, please head over to the Chamber website. It's georgetownchamber.org, and look up information about that grant money and apply to that. Now, you may fall into a category, as many businesses do in this area, that aren't incorporated. Maybe you're not in the city limits, or maybe you are a home-based business. That's where we want to help out, friends. Today, if you know of a business, or maybe you're a business owner yourself and you say, Rob, I just need some help. I hate asking for help. I really don't like to ask for help, but I need help. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to turn. I want to encourage you this morning to ask for help. There's no shame in asking for help. This morning, I encourage you to do that. Visit our website at hrngeorgetown.com/support. Again, that is hrngeorgetown.com/support. Let us know what your needs are. We're getting close here. I know that we said we're going to do this through April, but time is going to run out. And there's been a lot of folks that have said, hey, do you still have the form up? Yes. Go fill that form out immediately if you need help. And what we're going to do is coming up in May. We were going to do it in April, but we've got to hurry and do this because there's businesses who need help now, and we don't want to extend this any longer than we have to. If you are able to, we're going to have an auction. So many of you say, look, we're doing fine. I just like to help out. Maybe you're a business that you're not doing okay, but you still want to help out in some way. Of course, fill out that page at hrngeorgetown.com/support. But then if you want to donate an item, visit hrngeorgetown.com/auction. We've had many items already come in. We honestly need more. We need a lot more because what we have, it's a good selection, but we need a lot more because that's really going to help this auction become successful. It's going to be an online auction that will be held in May,
And the proceeds from that auction will be dispersed on what folks tell us that their needs are on that form. So again, it's hrngeorgetown.com/support if you're a business owner who needs help, or maybe you know of a business who needs help. If you'd like to donate to the auction, visit hrngeorgetown.com/auction. Friends, it's always my true honor and privilege and a blessing to bring you this show every morning here on Hip Radio Network Georgetown. It's Georgetown's hometown station, as we'll bring you this show every single day of the week. I told you this is my passion. It's what I'm doing, and I do it because I love this community that I grew up in, and I love you, and just love being able to bring a message of hope and encouragement every single morning, and also to get to hear from so many different folks in our wonderful community. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back on the air from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Ken Covington will join us as our morning co-host, and so you definitely don't want to miss that show. We're going to have Julie Hobbs on tomorrow of Help Crisis Center. She'll be talking about her great organization and what they are doing right now and what they may need help with. So make sure to join us tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Ken Covington will be my morning co-host, and his logo will return tomorrow. I know right now it says Good Morning Georgetown with Rob Hipp. Tomorrow I'll throw Ken's back on there because he helps me out on Wednesdays and also the co-founder of this show. Friends, I appreciate you. We'll be back on tomorrow morning. I wanted to remind you, as I do in every single broadcast that I do, no matter if it's sports or here on this show or wherever I may be, I want to remind you this morning, especially right now, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. Friends, we need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there today needs you. Good morning, Georgetown, and God bless you. We'll see you bright and early back here tomorrow morning from 7 to 9. Have a great, wonderful, and blessed day, everybody. Good morning. We'll see you tomorrow.